nuclear threats will not stop the UK support for Ukraine. And we heard this, that the United States is doing this, also Britain as well.
Hey y'all,
They are saying
Manuel
that they
Brett
will
Allen Bennett,
support
Advanced Sales and Marketing.
this continuing on. So these are headlines coming out all across the world thanks to BBC. I was able to get them all into one place. Here's another one though. Let me know your thoughts.
Speaker
Not
going
everybody is saying that they believe Russia's threats. They're saying they think that they're bluffing. Some people think that we have crossed the red line with allowing U.S. missiles to be fired by Ukraine into Russia. But
of course, the
this
deep
particular
state
one
cabal,
disagrees. This article from Forbes. This is the real message that Putin is sending to the United States by lowering the nuclear response threshold.
force
And again,
Russia's hand,
to clarify, this
and
is directly to the U.S.
allow
what
Ukraine
is
to
currently
use
taking
long-range
place right
missiles
now.
to
And again,
fire
let me know
into
your thoughts in the
country of
comments.
Russia.
Do you think that Putin is bluffing? This is posturing. If
So,
so, drop those ones that you think, no,
that being said,
this is the real deal, and you haven't put your comments in yet, go ahead
I'm
and
going to
put
let you
two.
listen for a little bit.
But like I said, a lot of people, you can see the
and then I'm
headlines
gonna,
all
say some
over
things.
the world right now, as people are saying this has crossed a line into a new level, the likes of which we have never seen before. But some people, like this article from Forbes, are saying, no, it's still just bluffing, it's still just posturing. Some people say, no, it is different now. Things have changed drastically, significantly with these attacks. Why is there talk of World War III? Well, it is because of everything that is currently going on right now. We are seeing this all over. World War III, warnings like never before. John Harris, thank you for the $5 super chat. Step 1, Biden starts World War III. Step 2, Kamala, 25th Amendment to look like the savior. Step 3, no transfer of power. Just a thought. John Harris, you are not the only one that I have heard that from. And if you agree with John Harris that right now they are on step 1, start World War III, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you think that's where we're going, drop a 3 in the comments for World War III. Now, in addition to that, while you're dropping those 3s, if you believe that's where we're going, don't forget to take a second, hit the like button. Help spread this out further. Kyle Brown, thank you for the $5 super chat. Well, there goes the elections. If we go to war over this election, will be put off due to stupidity. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for that, Kyle Brown. Yes, I've heard that as well. I've heard some people say, just like we just saw from Harris, he kind of said the same thing. He said that, you know, this will postpone.
Okay, so the nation knows they chose freedom over tyranny.
Trump. So they're saying that
the tyrannical liberal communist Marxist leftists that have ruled our country for decades because they were cunning when they pretty much took it over. They took over our school board systems. We're the most unequivocally wealthy nation in the world. And wealth breeds excellence because you have the money to put in higher technology, better schooling. But our school systems, you notice every university is a liberal place of propaganda to propagate young people in America going to college. All that being said,
at least $20,000
is that we were asleep at the helm. We didn't understand how far the whole communist, you know, because it started with the hippies. Our country used to hunt down communists because communism doesn't work in any form, way, shape, or factor, and we knew that, and they couldn't you know, claim to be Marxist or communist in America back then. But what they've been doing to our country over the last 5-6 decades is right out of the Marxist playbook. And taking the man of the household, making uncles, you know, the government, the man of the house, removing, you know, values, family values, home values, you know, and degrading our society all along. Now, if you don't think it's intentional, think about this. How, if, you know, the greatest wealth, the country with the greatest wealth in the history of the world has enough money to create the greatest technology, the most innovation, the most millionaires and billionaires, and and perpetuate the American dream that in the melting pot that God has blessed, one nation under God, that people from all other nations in the world want to come to America for that dream that they do not have due to oppression in the countries they come from. Now, how does a country with the most amount of money in the world end up having #1 school systems in the world? You know, before they started infiltrating, taking over the school board systems in America, You know, 90% of all school teachers in public schools in America are liberal, you know, closet communists, propagating our children, bringing up agendas that are, you know, defunding the police, you know, advocating for self-genocide and you know, making women fight for their right to, you know, kill their own babies and abortion because, you know, Uncle Sam's their man. They don't need a man. They don't have to, you know. I mean, so many agendas that have degraded our country over the last 5 or 6 decades. It wasn't on accident. It was intentional. You think about it. How the hell can a country with the most amount of money in the world have school systems that rank today, last time I checked on the list, we rank 38th in the world. Underneath some countries that are seemingly very close to third world countries, if not third world countries, have better educational systems than America. How does that happen? It's the deep state, the cabal, the secret communists that have been cunning in their plan over 60 years, infiltrating every institution, government institution, every educational system, you know, like opening our borders. You know, and other countries are emptying their insane asylums, their prisons, and telling them, you know, hey, give them buses to the border. So you come back to Venezuela, we're going to kill you. So now they got the lowest crime in the whole world now. But our country, Biden, the communists, that, you know, it doesn't seem like they have common sense. Everything they do doesn't help America. It destroys America. Sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine, okay? But the Biden administration and Kamala Harris, anybody that has a brain, common sense, the ability to think for themselves knows that, remember back in the 60s when Kennedy was president, and the Russians, that's back when we were still in the Cold War. You know, the Soviet Union, you know, dissolved the Soviet Union and rejected communism. Therefore, they were no longer our enemy because they were not trying to encroach upon our sovereignty and push their communism into our country. So, you know, now, hey, let bygones be bygones. They have a right to run their country, their culture, the way they want to. We have a right to run ours the way we want to. But remember in the Cold War when Russia, Soviet Union, was going to put nukes 50 miles from our coastline in Cuba? And, you know, that was the closest we come to nuclear war, other than accidents that nobody knows about, in our nation's history. But that was unacceptable, and we had the moral justification. John F. Kennedy had the moral justification to say, no, you move them, or it's not acceptable. We're going to do this now. We're not going to let you fucking put us in a trap. Putin, I know Russia is a Christian country like we are. I know that you're a Christian man. Americans respect you, Mr. Putin. Okay? That being said, it's the deep state cabal. You know all about the deep state cabal. You've got your intelligence services. Work with Trump. He's a Christian man, anointed by God, you know, against all odds of the deep state. And he ran as a Republican. Republicans and Democrats fought against him. But it opened the eyes to America as to how oppressed we really were. They told us you guys were oppressed, and your country was like our country is now. All grown up, that's what they fed us. Russia's people aren't free. The government, you know, jails and goes after anybody that's against them or speaks a word against them. That's what our government has been doing to our people for years now. They stole the election in 2020 and got away with it just through the whole government-owned propaganda media, the mainstream media that sings any narrative that they tell them to sing. So, Vladimir Putin, Americans know we're not against you. We don't see you as an enemy. You know, the deep state cabal has been running this country and destroying it. You know, for China, because they've been, you know, China's asked for ever taking their money in bribes. They want chaos, anarchy, and destruction. They're salty that, you know, they could not hold on to their conglomeration of corruption and power. As, you know, every senator, that's why we're going to hit term limits. every senator that goes in making $174,000 a year, within a few years, a congressman too.